Welcome everybody, I am Zzandrio, and as you can see, we've got an old-ass game here. This is Daggerfall. This is the Elder Scrolls Part 2. Daggerfall, the original Elder Scrolls was Arena, which is even older than this one. This is Daggerfall. I think this came out in, was it 95 or 96? I don't remember. In the world. Yeah, you can see I have a couple little games here, and I named them some interesting things, but we're not going to play those games. We're going to start a new game here. This is if you ever played any of the other Elder Scrolls game, this is a precursor to any of those. We got our race select from the continents here. Black Marsh is the Argonians. Morrowind is the Dark Elves. Dark Elves. Skyrim is the Nords. Everyone knows about Skyrim these days. High Rock is the Bretons. Hammerfell is the Redguards. Elsewhere is Khajiit. Valenwood is Wood Elves, and Somerset Isle is the High Elves. There are no Imperials in Daggerfall. You cannot select Imperials. Apparently it is not actually a race in these days. All Imperials are just members of the other races. So I think I'm gonna go with a Nord. We're gonna go with a Nord here, and we'll be a male. I could be female. That's what I always chose, when I was a kid, because this game's got boobies. Anyways, we're past that. We're past that. We're gonna make us a custom class here, and the class creation in this Daggerfall was very, very cool. I really liked the class creation in Daggerfall more so than any of the newer ones. There's just a lot of customization. We have all these skills to choose from. You can see there are a ton of them. And I think what I want to make is like a beefy warrior priest type dude. So we're going to go with blunt weapons. We're going to go with restoration on our main skills. Blunt, restoration, and the third main skill that we're going to get is going to be critical striking. Yeah, we're going to be a warrior priest here. Now, for some reason in Daggerfall, there are no armor skills. You don't have skills in armor. So there's all kinds of different magic skills, some dodging and whatnot. All these different giantish, harpy, dragonish. These are all language skills. So you can learn the language of the critters, and really, I haven't really seen a use for that, personally, but whatever. So our third main skill is going to be eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What's it going to be? See, I always take forever creating a character because creating a character is just a fun thing in this game. We're going to go with dodging. We're going to get some major. First major skill is dodging. We're going to get some defensive skills here. We got dodging, and I think maybe I want to do climbing. Daggerfall has climbing. This is something that they took out of the Elder Scrolls. This is the only Elder Scrolls game, I believe, that had climbing, where you can scale a vertical wall in Daggerfall. It's very interesting. And the last major skill we're going to get, I'm not going to get jumping. Medical. I think medical will make me regenerate faster while I'm resting. I think that's what it does. And then with the minor skills, I'm just going to put all the different magic skills in the minor skills. That way they all get a little boost. I won't really be able to use any of the spells anyways for a while. But it doesn't hurt to give them a little boost. The way the magic skills work in Daggerfall is that the lower your skill, the less chance you have of succeeding at casting the frickin' spells. So I want to get every magical skill in there. I think I've got them all here. I think we got them all. And I think the last skill we want to get here is going to be mercantile here, so that our shopkeepers will give us better prices and whatnot. Now we can adjust all of our stats here. but we have to take away from some stats to give to other stats. So, as a warrior priest, I'm definitely going to want lots of strength. So I think we'll bring that up to about 70. And I'm going to want some intelligence. Mana is based on intelligence. By default, you get half of your intelligence in mana. So with 60 intelligence, I would have 30 mana. But as I'll show you, there are things we can get to change that. And we're going to take away some personality, some willpower. I think we'll take away some luck as well. I don't really care that much about the luck. Now speed, however, is a pretty important thing in this game, so I definitely want a little bit of speed. I think I'll take away some of the endurance, which kind of sucks to take away some endurance, but you know. I think that's a decent balance, and we are going to be a warrior priest. Yes. And now we can adjust the max hit points per level. We want lots of hit points per level, of course. And now we got advantages and disadvantages. So for advantages, I want more mana. I want to be able to actually cast spells, have enough mana to cast some, so we need increased magery, and 3 times intelligence and spell points. It would be very, very nice. Now, what this does is skill advancement for class. This modifies how fast you level up. When it's this high right here, it takes forever to level up. And the critters do not scale to your level in Daggerfall like they did in the old games. They are what they are. So if it's taking you forever to level up, it's going to take you forever to get to high level areas. So we need to put in some disadvantages that will make us not level so frickin' slow. So let's I think that's the only advantage I'm going to want at the moment. So let's go to disadvantages. And yeah, so these disadvantages are real disadvantages. Now some of these are not so big a deal, like forbidden weaponry. I'm just going to be focusing on blunt weapons. So I'm going to forbid the axe, and I'm going to forbid the long blade, and I am going to forbid the short blade. And that brought it down a little bit, but we want to bring it down more than that. So we're going to add some more disadvantages. We can forbid the buckler shield, because I don't really care about bucklers. Some of these other things are pretty bad, like low tolerance. You don't want to have low tolerance to paralysis, because being paralyzed is frickin' horrible in this game. The spiders are just mean as all hell, so we're not gonna do that. We can take damage from holy places. That would be something interesting. Let's see how much that moves the bar. Did that move it very much? Well, that moved it actually quite a bit. But we are a warrior priest, so I don't know how that would really make sense to take damage from holy places. So maybe we shouldn't do that. We can forbid leather armor. That's what we can do. That didn't move it very far. See, these forbidden weapon types and forbidden armor types and stuff, they don't move the bar very far. You need to actually put in a real disadvantage. Like, if you wanted inability to regenerate skill points, you can see that moves the bar quite a lot. But that's really not a good idea, because then you can't cast spells. So it's kind of a trade-off, and I don't see how that's even a trade-off, because what's the point? So we got phobia. Animals, undead, humanoid, or Daedra. I think maybe I'll have a phobia to undead. No, I'm a warrior priest. Why would a warrior priest have a phobia to undead? A warrior priest might have a Daedra. A Daedra phobia. Daedra are those kind of like demons. I can see a warrior priest being scared of Daedra. So we're gonna have a phobia to Daedra. Our warrior priest is scared of Daedras. And then we're going to have darkness-powered magery. We're going to have lower magic ability in daylight. That'll make us kind of like a dark warrior priest. Is that even make sense? Does that even make sense at all? It doesn't really make sense. We're going to take that off. I really want to bring this down though. So we're gonna make low tolerance to frost. Yes, low tolerance to frost. That's brought it down a bit. I am a Nord, so I have extra resistance to frost. Bringing this low tolerance to frost will maybe even it out some. I'm not sure how much it'll even it out or whatever, but that's good enough. And I could lower the amount of hit points I get per level to make it a little easier to level as well, but I don't know that I want to do that. I want to be able to have lots of hit points. And then the last thing we can do is edit our reputations. We have merchants, peasants, scholars, nobility, and underworld. The underworld is going to dislike me very much. I'm not interested in the underworld, say the Thieves Guild, Assassins Guild, stuff like that. I'd like the peasants to like me a little bit, because you end up asking peasants for directions quite a bit, and I would really like the merchants to like me, so that maybe I can get a better deal on goods and stuff. That'd be cool. And maybe one to each of scholars and nobility. Yes, the character creation takes for frickin' ever. I apologize, but I think we're done with that part of it. And now we have choices. We can adjust the attributes within this character sheet, or we can answer 12 important questions. We're going to answer the questions that influence our background here. After the School of Restoration, what magic have you been studying the longest? Well, we are a warrior priest, so it's probably going to be mysticism that we've been studying. Mysticism and restoration really makes sense. And knowledge. Warrior priests are always seeking knowledge. In between formal study, I spent my time sparring, because I'm a warrior priest, obviously. And since childhood, I have saved 100 gold pieces, a favorite book, a cuirass, or a buckler. This is chest armor. And chest armor would be nice to have. We saved that. And the Emperor has given me a silver staff, or an elven flail. Is flail a blunt weapon? I do believe an elven flail may just be a blunt weapon. So we're gonna go with the flail. As I grew older, I received additional magical training in the School of Restoration. And my nickname as a child was... Okay, Rabbit, probably jumping. Guppy is most likely swimming. Quicksilver would be running. Scrapper would be fighting. And Monkey would be climbing? Probably? We're going to go Monkey. And I am friendlier than most with... Now, I assume this gives a bonus to whatever language I pick. We're going to pick the nymphs. I like the nymphs. Of all disagreeable types, you have the most personal hatred for... Well, seeing as how I am a warrior priest, maybe I should not have so much hatred for the sanctimonious priests, but I think we're gonna be mad at the immoral assassins. I don't care about the assassins. And I'm intimate friends with a monk. Yes, a monk. What god do I worship? Commerce, beauty, time, air, mercy, logic, mother goddess, birth and death god. Well, it's kind of a hard one, but I think we'll go with Julianos, god of logic. I have the most trouble getting along with others. I'm a loner warrior priest. Alright, all my reputations are unchanged. Now I name myself. My name is Zzandrio. Zzandrio the warrior priest. You can pick my face. I know, this character creation is taken for frickin' ever, but I'm a Nord. This is me right here. There we go. Okay, now we have dice rolls. This is an old school RPG, as you can see. We can re-roll our stats. It took the base stats, and then it adds to them. It adds a dice roll to each stat, and gives us a little bonus here after the fact. So we're going to sit here and roll for a minute and see what looks like a good roll here. And as you can see, you can save a roll, and then if you re-roll, you can actually load the roll and go back to the one you saved. So if you think you got a really good roll, you can save it, and then just roll some more, and try to get a better one. Actually, this one looks pretty damn good right here. That looks like a halfway decent roll. You know what? That's good enough for me. I'm not going to sit here on the rolling screen forever. This is something I would normally do, is just sit here for about a half hour rolling stats, but we're going to just get going. We've got quite a bit of strength. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to upgrade Critical Strike with my starting points, because Critical Strike is hard to raise on its own. My Blunt Weapon should actually go up fairly quickly, because I'm going to be using Blunt Weapons a lot. Dodging, Climbing, Medical. We're going to up our Medical. We want to heal as fast as possible. And then on our minor skills, well, I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference what I do here. We're going to put it all in at least one stat though, so that we might actually be able to use a spell from a different school. I think we'll go Mysticism, because I do believe that's where the Soul Trap is. Yes, this game has soul trapping as well, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where soul trapping is. And in Daggerfall, I always go with very high reflexes. What it does is it makes the monsters move and attack faster, but it makes me level up faster, so it's a good advantage, and it doesn't seem to be all that bad at very high, so here we are. We're Zzandrio, the warrior priest. Got 85 strength. It's going to be nice for carry weight and whatnot. And here's the intro.
400 years after Tiber Septim's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim, the Seventh, cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion, and one indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Real actors, something you don't see these days in video games that much.
Use the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
All right. You wake, look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You'd only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there's a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. I do not need a tutorial. I know how to play this game. Okay, here we are, in a small little cave. Now, first thing I'm going to do is save my game. And we're going to save over this, because who cares? We'll just call it number 1. We're going to erase all these other saves eventually, and we're going to save over all of them, because this is going to be the game I'm playing here. And the first thing I'm going to do is go into my options and turn on full screen, because I don't need all that nonsense down on my screen there. And F5 brings up my character, which I can look at all my stats, go to my inventory, and I can take off my stuff. I'm naked! I don't want to be naked! No, where's my clothing? Put on pants, idiot! Put on pants. See, this is why I made a female when I was a kid, because boobies, but we don't need that. Okay, we have an elven flail, which I'm assuming is a blunt weapon, which is just fantastic. To be starting with an elven item is absolutely fantastic. So, we have elven flail. Now, the way combat works in Daggerfall, you hold down the right click and move your mouse around, and it swings the flail in the direction that you move the mouse, which is kind of a cool way to do combat. I was a huge fan of that when Daggerfall first came out. So, we have an elven flail. We are a warrior priest. What do I have for spells? I can hit my spell book. I have shock, which costs 60 mana. I have 210 mana. See, because I got that extra mana skill. And your mana does not go up as you level in Daggerfall. This is just what mana you have, period. So that's why mana intelligence and the mana stats are very important in character creation if you're going to be using magic. So we have shock, we have slow falling, that is very nice to start with. And we have chameleon, which costs 33 mana. So yeah, I have some spells. Shock is destruction, I'm assuming. It doesn't tell you what school they are, so that kind of sucks. But let's just get moving here. We'll just get through this first little dungeon in this video here. Die, rat! Just smacked the living daylights out of him. I'm kind of bummed that I don't start with any healing spells, but you know, I'll get a healing spell pretty soon, I'm sure. So here we go. I think there's a bat over here around this corner. I know this dungeon, just this first dungeon, I pretty much know by heart. When this game came out, I played the living daylights out of it. I played this game so much, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Hello, imp! How dare you! Oh my god. Okay, the imp hurt me. You see my little health bar there on the bottom left, and that imp actually did some damage. He casted a spell on me. What do we got there? Talisman, worth 120 gold. We'll take that with us. Now, I think I might be able to rest here, so I'm just going to rest until fully healed. There we go. Heal myself up. There's no sense in moving on without resting. Now, the trick to Daggerfall, if you don't know where you're at, if you're in a new location and you don't know what's coming up, save your game frickin' often, because there are bugs. Even if you do know what's coming up, save your game often. This game is just riddled with bugs, like any good Bethesda game. It is frickin' riddled with bugs and game-stopping nonsense, even more so than the newer ones. So, ooh, got some chain boots. We will be wearing those. We'll be I can't wear leather. My class prohibits me. Helmet. Can I wear the helmet, or is it leather? Nope, it's leather. I cannot wear it. Can I? Oop, I can wear that shield. However, my flail is a two-handed weapon, so I can't really use it. Fool's Ebony, Part the 3th by Friendships. It's worth some gold. Ooh, and we have us a map. Alright, well, let's take these. Now, this map is the long-lost location of the Citadel of Hogsley, which copy down. Now, I think what I actually want to do is write that down. The Citadel of Hogsley, because if I want to actually find this place on the map, I'm going to have to do a search for it, and I'm going to have to know how it's spelled. And I'm not sure if it shows up. Does it show up in my history? No, it doesn't show up anywhere, as far as I know. So, you kind of have to... You kind of have to write things down when you get those maps. Write down what they are if you want to visit them. A recipe for a potion of resist frost. Ichor, turquoise, pine branch, and white rose. We'll be taking that recipe with us. And another book, The Light and the Dark, by Eric Unterge. Ooh, pretty blue shirt. I'll be wearing that. Yes, there are tons and tons of books in this game. This game is littered with books. If we go to our inventory and we look at these books, we can actually read this book, King Edward, Part 12. And, you know, some of these books are pretty damn long. As you can see, I scrolled through a whole bunch there. It's not like the newer games where some of the books up your stats. No, these are simply... This is simply lore. If you're interested in lore, Daggerfall is just littered with books. If you want to read about the lore of the Elder Scrolls world, yes, Daggerfall. Oh, you evil archer! He shot me. All right, let's just take all this crap with us. Hold on. That's 3 armor. Mine's 3 armor. This one's prettier. We're gonna wear it. Yes, we want the prettier silver armor. It's much prettier. All right, I know exactly where this dungeon exit is, but let's just rest here. I'm trying to decide whether I want to go straight to the exit, or if I want to actually explore around a bit. But I do know there's a skeleton up there, and I know the skeleton is generally pretty nasty to a new character. So I'm going to save my game right here. We'll call it number 2. No. Back. Delete. Ah! Alright. This is save number 2. We're going to keep a history of saves in case we have to backtrack. Alright, skeleton. I'm ready for you, buddy. I have a flail. I got blunt weapons. Ah! Die! I destroyed him. Hell yes. Got an iron war axe. Well, I think my flail is pretty damn badass. I can't see something being better than 4 to 16 damage anytime soon. But we're going to take this stuff with us anyways, just to sell. I might have a bat chasing me here. Now, I am hurt. We're going to rest again. Hopefully I don't get interrupted. Okay. Yeah, we're doing good here. Now, since we got a straight up wall there, there is a little lever there that makes this a little elevator. But I kind of want to show you guys the wall climbing in Daggerfall. So here we go. Climbing mode. Climbing straight up the frickin' wall. Hell yeah. You don't see that in new video games, do you? Don't see that at all. Alright, this is not the direction I need to go. The exit is just right up here. Hello, rat. Goodbye, rat. Oh, come on, die. The reason I said speed is such an important stat in Daggerfall is because the speed of this weapon swing is determined by your speed stat. So, it's actually very, very important. Hello, bat. I know there's a rat, and there's also one of them green imps in here too. So, die, imp! Stop with your spells. Good lord, dude almost killed me. All right, we're gonna rest. Okay, we have got some skill upgrades, and this is the exit from the first dungeon. Right here, we have defeated the first dungeon. I didn't get too much loot in here, so I did get some books, though. Those are worth some money. I might have enough money to... I got quite a bit of armor and stuff, too. I might have enough money to buy some spells. My encumbrance is 81 out of 127. Yeah, I think we're going to leave. Here we go. Okay. Now, if you've seen Daggerfall, or if you've seen people try to play Daggerfall, you've probably never even seen them get out of that first dungeon, because that's where most people just die. It's that first dungeon. Most people don't get past it, but we have. And we can travel. Wait, where's the world map? There it is. So this is the world. I am at... If I hit I'm at... I have to find a continent first. I am right over here. These are all the little dungeons around me. There was one I had a map to. I can't remember what it was, but I could search for that. But these are all the towns, dungeons, temples, just everything on this little section of the map. Each section of the map has its own number of towns and stuff. As you can see, it is abso-frickin-lutely enormous. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So we have to kind of have an idea of where we want to go here. And we had a journal with quests. That's not what I wanted. It's not. I didn't want to look at my history. I have a history as well. We want to look at our log. So I'm on a mission from the Emperor to investigate the shades of King Lysandus. Spirit has been haunting the city of Daggerfall. And there's also a letter sent to the Queen of Daggerfall. I gotta find it. So pretty much the only things I have, clues I have to do right now, have to do with Daggerfall. So we're gonna go straight to Daggerfall. So find Daggerfall. So there's Daggerfall. Do I wish to travel to Daggerfall? Yes, I do. Now, we have travel options. Cautiously or recklessly. Recklessly goes faster and costs less gold, but I don't end up in there in the daytime. Sometimes you'll end up arriving at night or some nonsense like that. You don't gain health or something. I don't remember, but cautiously is generally the way I'll do it. And we can camp out, which makes it take longer, but it doesn't cost any gold. So I'm not really too worried about 40 gold. It's not that big a deal. We'll just stop at the ends. Let's go. On to Daggerfall. Now entering Daggerfall. I should sheath my weapon. People don't trust you when you have your weapon out. So, here we are in Daggerfall. And as you can see, Daggerfall is frickin' enormous. See, they don't have cities of this size in newer games. This is just absolutely ridiculous. There's probably really a reason they don't have cities of these size in modern day games, because it's absolutely frickin' unnecessary. But whatever. All the green ones are inns, the orange ones are shops, blue ones are temples and guilds, and temples and guilds. The first thing I'm going to want to do is probably find a temple or a mage guild or some place where I can learn a healing spell. But I think this is where we're going to stop here. I think this is a good enough intro to Daggerfall for you guys. What's up, chick? What's up, chickadee? As you can see, the conversation thing here is pretty silly. What kind of guilds do we got here? The Knights of the Dragon, the Mages Guild, and the Fighters Guild. But no, I don't care about that. I want a temple. I want a temple. Is there any temples here? Maybe there are no... Yeah, local temples. Temple of Kinnereth. Where is the Temple of Kinnereth? Just go southeast. So if I ask her enough, she'll actually put it on my map, as you can see. So, I'm going to want to go to the Temple of Kinnereth, because I'm assuming I'll probably be able to buy some spells there. But, that's going to be in the next video, if I make a next video. I'll leave that up to you guys. Do you want to see more Daggerfall, or is this game just old and crappy and not worth seeing? So leave some comments, leave some likes if you liked the video. And if I think you guys want to see more, we'll make some more Daggerfall. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.